If you thought there was a problem with the RTX 5080, wait until you see what we're going to be talking about in regards to the RTX 5090. There is quite literally like 50 different things that I want to share with you. So as always, everything that we're going to be covering today is going to be down in the description. And since videos are getting so long, I have started to add timestamps. And then I also have a mistake that I unfortunately have no option but to correct. So let's go over this right here. NVIDIA confirming GTC 2026 conference that is going to be scheduled for March 16th to March 19th, 2026. So the reason that this is such a big deal, man, is because he's been talking a lot about AI and then all the like NVIDIA mini PC, the N1X and things of that nature. And there's going to be a lot of like pretty crazy AI stuff, which I'm not really interested in anything that he's mentioned. So I'm not going to ramble on about that. This right here is just a really quick, I'm going to close that out. I'm going to open this. Cooler Master now offering GeForce RTX 5090 slim and thick configurations. The reason that I wanted to cover this, dude, is because if the RTX 5090 behemoth of a cylinder brick that has like a massive amount of matter in comparison to a not behemoth of a graphics card, if that's catching fire, what do you think is going to happen to a slim RTX 5090? I'm going to go ahead and guess it's going to catch on fire twice as quickly. This right here, Antgamer is releasing a 1000 hertz gaming monitor next year. Now, this is honestly where that problem with the RTX 5090 and RTX 6090 and everything in the future of graphics cards. The reason that this is such a big deal is because Moore's Law is dead. Even like was talking about this the other day in his podcast with Hardware Unboxed. Where they were basically just going over GPU benchmarks, how GPUs operate, the Zen 6 CPUs that AMD is going to be releasing, and just kind of talking about how like where the 5090 is and how like when you benchmark games at like a lower resolution to get higher frame rates, like the CPUs on the market right now, this includes the 9800X 3D, the 7800X 3D, the overclocked into oblivion 14900Ks and things of that nature. There's like a limit that you hit. Like if you like they were talking about how you can't benchmark games at 720p because the way that the graphics cards and the CPU are like, and just so we're clear, I don't really understand this. So I'm not, this is me just kind of talking and me remembering what was actually said. So I could be incorrect. And if I am wrong about this, you can feel free to correct me down in the comment section. But like if you benchmark games at 720p, with the current like hardware on the market, there's a point that you hit where like the frame rate cannot go any higher. If does that make sense to you? Because the CPUs aren't fast enough to like push it, and the way the games like operate with the GPU, it's really hard for me to, I didn't go to like computer science stuff. Like I've kind of learned all this stuff on my own, built computers, figured all this out by doing what I am doing right now and things like that. But that's why this is such a big problem, because even the 6090 and then the Zen 6 CPUs that are going to be coming out that are supposedly going to be like out of the box, be running at 7 gigahertz. Even that, man, like these 1000 hertz monitors, like you're not even going to be able to use them. At least from the way that I understood that podcast. And I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I would much rather have a 4K monitor at like 240 hertz or 480 hertz, which is probably what that's going to be, than have a 1000 hertz monitor. And then this right here is like an overclocked RTX 5090 from ASUS. That is going to be a pretty ridiculous amount of money. It's the RTX 5090 Matrix is going to arrive by the end of October this year, according to ASUS Singapore. I don't understand what's going on with ASUS right now. Like I get it, man, but like, so just listen, the way the world is right now, it's very divided. There's people that do not have much money. There's the middle class, which pretty much does not exist right now. And then there's people with like just so much money. All right, and what ASUS is doing right now with the 50 series, and we can kind of blame NVIDIA for this as well. This is not necessarily just an ASUS problem, but what they've done is they've taken when NVIDIA launched the 5090, it was supposed to be $2,000. Obviously, I mean, if you existed for more than a year and didn't live under a rock your entire life, you, me, and everybody that didn't live under that rock knew the 5090 was not going to be $2,000. Most of us, common sense, we were thinking it would be like $3,000. However, I don't think anybody thought that the 5090s were going to be going for like $5,000 as soon as they launch. And people actually buying, like being sold out. $5,000, boom, gone. $6,000, boom, gone. 4,000, boom, gone. It's not like it was just like, oh, hey, let's like buy a bunch of 5090s, relist them online, let them sit there at $5,000 until they sell. Like it was just like $5,000, boom, sold out. $5,000, boom, sold out. $6,000, boom, sold out. $7,000, boom, sold out. Like, dude, like the 5090s that were being sold for that crazy amount of money, they were selling out so quickly. And then ASUS does this outrageous thing. Like Linus made a video on this as well, where they released the Dubai version of the freaking 5090 that was like, what is it? Like default, it has real gold on it for those of you that are unaware of what I'm talking about right now. They released a golden RTX 5090 that was like $10,000 or something. It may have been more than that. But regardless, you get my point, dude. And then they ended up releasing the like wait, no, that was the gold plated one. Yeah, so that was the Dubai version, was the gold plated one. And then they released the like actual gold graphics card. Like it's just pure gold. And it's like, what is it, $100,000? But dude, that's so messed up. That's such a sick, twisted way to like brag. Just my opinion, man. Like, I'm not saying it isn't cool. Hey, a golden graphics card, but they're actually for sale. Like I'm gonna go ahead and, but the thing is ASUS has kind of always done this, not to this extent, but like I'm pretty sure they started it with the 3090. Correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure they started it with the 3090, where they had the ASUS ROG, which is literally that's the first like 90, or in other words, Titan graphics card that I purchased myself. You would get that little ASUS ring. And they still hold their value because they're kind of like collector's pieces, which is actually something that we do have open. Oh, I didn't actually. So I actually want to show you this because I the video card shared. Yeah, this I knows. So this right here. So for me, dude, hands down, the GTX 1080 is probably the best launch. But let me know down in the comment section below, like which graphics card series you liked the most. Like this right here, the 1080 and the 1080 Ti. That's definitely where like your value was like awesome. And then we started getting into ray tracing. Then we started getting into AI. Then we started going just like out the bazooka with overcharging for everything, which is, I mean, it's kind of sad to see. But either way, I just wanted to share this really quickly. But let's come over here. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5's power consumption is around the same as the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but the chipset doubles down on performance. So here's the thing. With the RTX 5080 right now, which is what we covered the other day, and where technology is going right now, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like what I said about like not buying a 5080 right now is mostly because of what we're seeing with these integrated graphics and then stuff like the Snapdragon, dude. Like the integrated graphics, I don't think people understand how much of a jump the next generation of I want to say Zen. I'm pretty sure I'm correct about this, Zen 6. The next generation of CPUs from AMD, dude. Like we're talking like a massive jump in performance, which is also going to be beneficial for consoles and stuff. But the problem with consoles, man, is the problem with consoles is like anybody that has a good PC and plays game at 4K can actually confirm this. Please leave a comment so I don't get a bunch of console warriors. That's not true. All right. If you look at a game on console running at 4K and then you launch the exact same title on a good PC, it is a night and day difference. It's like the console, like the textures are garbage, the anti-aliasing is garbage, the like everything. It looks like 4K bottom of the barrel, lowest of the low settings, just to brag your game's running at 4K. And then you look at it on PC. Oh, hey, look, a beautiful image. Potato, beautiful. Potato, beautiful. Dude, there's a big difference in console 4K versus PC 4K. 4K potato, lowest of the low settings, 4K ultra. There's a huge difference in what it looks like. However, with where we're seeing like all these like very small form graphics cards going and the features that AMD's releasing, it's very cool, man. And they're definitely going to be replacing the 5070. Like they're already talking about like that's what it's going to perform like, the RTX 5070 Ti and the RTX 5070. But the cool thing about these is with how AMD's stuff works, you're able to use the RAM inside of your computer as VRAM. So it's like, it's not just that it's going to perform like a 5070, it's also going to be extremely beneficial for AI, which is like one of the little mini PCs that we're going to cover here. But either way, Snapdragon Elite Gen 5's power consumption is around the same as the Snapdragon Elite, but the chipset doubles down on performance. Like doubles down. Like that's what I'm talking about, man. Like technology. This is like the 10, like what I just shared with the Twitter post from video cards. Like when we went from the GTX 900 series to the GTX 10 series, like the GTX 980, which is literally my first computer build, and then we went to the GTX 1080, like that performance jump was huge. And like what we're seeing right now, like we're like 20 timesing that. Like it's a massive jump in performance, what we're seeing. Zoom out here, that I zoomed in a little bit too much. So yeah, so the new Steam Deck rival wants you to stick its battery in your pocket. So what I don't understand about this is they already have these like little power bricks. Like you can go to Amazon and there's these like little I forget what the name of the more popular company that does this is. I forget the name of the company, but either way, I don't really understand like what the purpose of having a portable little battery to put in your pocket is. Like you need a portable battery to stick in your pocket, but you can't stick your console in your pocket. So why do you need a battery to put in your pocket if you can't even put the console that you need it for in your pocket? Would you like to explain that? Either way, but however, dude, this is it's so crazy. I wish people could understand like the AI Max Plus 395 CPU. Like this alone is just like, this is where that performance jump is just coming into play. Like the MSI, there's an MSI handheld. The new Zotac Zone handheld has this as well. We covered that the other day. Yeah, it's just it really is just so insane. So this right here, we're gonna go ahead and stop covering that stuff. So Intel Nova Lake S desktop platform. I'm actually gonna change the game. That hasn't looped yet. Intel Nova Lake S desktop platform shows up in shipping data with up to 52 cores. And we also have to remember, dude, like we're also talking like faster clock speeds as well. Like this is also like even Intel, that has always been so far behind AMD when it comes down to integrated graphics. Like even them, like even there has to be something going on behind the scenes, which is honestly why I think the N1X, like little mini PC from NVIDIA, was delayed, because I'm pretty sure NVIDIA like saw like where Intel and AMD are headed with their integrated graphics, their CPUs, and just kind of like the AI features that are implemented into these things. I'm pretty sure that's why NVIDIA delayed their little N1X mini PC, just because of how crazy things are actually going. However, here's all the description of goods, the HS code. I legitimately have no idea what any of that is. However, I'm sure there's a bunch of geniuses that know what that stuff is. Video cards, architecture, socket, P cores, E cores, LP cores, and then the GPU. So yeah, that's all that stuff. I just wanted to share that with you. So this right here, Acer unveils Veriton GN100 AI mini workstation with NVIDIA's GB10 Blackwell SoC, and it's going to cost $4,000. I know that this is super expensive right now, obviously, but this is new stuff. Like, this is new technology, and this is absolutely aimed at AI. However, like I said, man, that N1X mini PC that was delayed, like, it's stuff like this that's, dude, it's just so crazy. So like, let's like actually, I want to use phones as so. Let me come down here. The Acer introduced the Veriton. Before I get too far off topic, it has GN100 compact workstation designed to run large AI models locally and reduce reliance on cloud services. It is based on NVIDIA's GB10 Grace Blackwell superchip, and it targets developers, researchers, and labs that need a small, quiet box with server-class acceleration. It's this small little teeny tiny little mini PC, dude. All right. So like, we're talking like, this is going to outperform like 5090s. So the system delivers up to 1 pflops of FP4 AI performance, pairs 20 ARM-based CPU cores with 5th gen tensor cores, and it ships with 128 gigabytes of unified memory plus up to 4 terabytes of NVMe storage. Acer includes the NVIDIA AI software stack and support for common tools such as PyTorch, Jupyter, and Ollama out of the box. The GN, so that's all of that stuff. And then I'm going to come down here so that you can see like what you get with this thing. So the reason I'm talking about this, dude, is because remember how we went from like massive behemoths of a computer to like these little phones that are like quite literally 1,000 times faster than what we used to have. Like, for those of you that like maybe grew up in the 90s like myself, you remember like the old like massive behemoth Mac computers that were like all in one, or the IBM computers, like those massive like little bricks. Or so, and then they like on top of that, they were all like $6,000. Like, they were so expensive back then. And then boom, now we have like these little $1,000 phones that are literally like 1,000 times faster than those ancient computers that were multiple thousands of dollars. That's like where we are right now. And like, we're at a point where like 5090s, these like $5,000, $6,000 computers are being replaced by these little tiny little mini computers. Like, so this is what I'm saying about like the next generation of AMD CPUs, the next generation of Intel CPUs, Snapdragon working on their desktop version of CPUs. Like, dude, we're going from such a like, this is that shift. This is that shift from those old Mac computers, the IBM computers that were multiple thousands of dollars, and they're like absolute slugs now. Like, you're freaking like a little turtle compared to like a rabbit. You know what I mean? So that's where we are. And that's why I said what I said the other day about the RTX 5080, and like, just not to buy that, even though they're going down to MSRP now, because the Super Series is coming out. They're going to cost less than what GPUs are now. Yes, fully aware we're going to run into the same problem when they actually launch. Scalpers are going to buy them all, and they will, of course, be more than what the RTX 5080 is now at MSRP. However, they're literally, so the 5080 right now comes with 16 gigabytes. The 5080 Super is going to come with 24 gigabytes and cost less than the RTX 5080. The same thing with the RTX 5070. The 5070, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I'm pretty sure it has 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's going to launch with 24 as well. So like double the, like, you're getting so much more for less, because VRAM right now is so important for everything. Because where PC gaming is right now, with that 1000 hertz monitor, that's kind of going to be pointless, and NVIDIA being in trouble because of where everything, or not NVIDIA being in trouble, but like, or kind of, yes, in trouble, because AMD is already really like focusing on how AI operates, and obviously so is NVIDIA. However, that VRAM like freaking thing that they're doing with their CPU, where you can take RAM from your computer and put it into your whatever AI VRAM needs, that's, I don't know, dude. I don't really know where I'm headed. I hate silence. For some reason, I get super paranoid and freak out with silence, and I have to turn my air conditioner off. And I lost my train of thought here. So let's continue here. NVIDIA being in trouble is mostly about that shift right now, because where everything is headed, I don't even know where. I literally lost my train of thought. I'm getting all paranoid. So this right here, Steam Deck, I really did. I completely lost where I was headed with that. I forgot what I was talking about. VRAM, we were talking about integrated graphics, AI. We were going from the shift to the behemoths of computers. And now it's making me even more paranoid when I don't know what it is, dude. I deal with a lot. I struggle with a lot of stuff. So it's probably just whatever. This right here, this is a huge update in comparison. It'll come back to me at some point throughout the rest of the video. I absolutely hate silence, and I'm not gonna, whatever. I'm not gonna continue to freak myself out and paranoid myself. Does anybody else here struggle with that? Do you like, if like you're alone and there's like nothing, like there's like no noise or anything in the background? Does that like freak you out for some reason? Like just like being alone within the silence? I don't know why it does it to me, dude, but it does it. Paranoid. It's probably from like trauma from when I was a kid, but still. So this right here, Steam Deck, Rogue Ally, and more. All the news about handheld PC gaming resolution. So the main thing I wanted to share right now is this right here. This is a huge jump in like screen display performance. Oh, I knew it. Okay. I knew I would come back to it. I knew it would come back to me. So what I was saying about like how like all these like all this stuff like with AI. So gaming right now and how games work, we are at a point where not only is the the giant super expensive PCs going into like these like tiny little mini PCs, but gaming is also going to transition into this, which is something that we have going on here. Gaming is going to transition from game worlds to like there's going to be like AI implemented into these. And yes, I'm fully aware this is already kind of a thing. Like NVIDIA has their whatever, your NPC thing where it's like random NPCs that say random things that all look different and things like that. But whew, man, I got way down that rabbit hole. But like we're going like Light No Fire, like how and No Man's Sky, like how these worlds are like generated, just like randomly generated. Like games are gonna start going from what they are now, and like just like as an example, like the like eyeball reading technology that like VR headsets have, where like it tracks what you're looking at, so it focuses on that like in the actual game, and then it like blurs the rest of it like you would actually like see in real life. Like that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. So like, and then like with Elon Musk and their freaking brain chip implants, which is, dude, I don't know what to tell you if you actually would do that. But can you see what I'm saying? Like eventually we're going to have these like brain chip reading VR headsets that look at your eyeballs and identify what you're looking at as you think about what you're thinking about. And it's going to generate an AI freaking world. So it's going to be like your dream game right in front of you as you think of it. And dude, like that's where we're headed right now. And it's just, dude, it's freaking wild. We're literally going to be like living in a virtual reality. It's absolutely wild. So this right here, handheld, 144 hertz refresh rate. This, like you can see right now, 1200p. Man, I'm like losing my breath talking so much. So I'm going to go ahead and move on right now because now I'm getting all paranoid living in virtual realities as I'm like sitting in my thing in my apartment with dead silence. I really don't. I wish people could understand. I do. I get super paranoid. Like I start like having panic attacks and stuff because of silence. thinking thinking I'm dying. So anyways, Escape from Tarkov is coming to Steam. That's really all I need to say about this. I'm going to be honest with you. This is like one of the main reasons I don't play this game is because it's not on Steam. So I just wanted to update everybody with that. So I'm actually going to cover No Man's Sky really quickly first. So the reason I'm covering like No Man's Sky and the Light No Fire stuff is because, first of all, this is like what Star Citizen like should have been 20 years later. How long has it been since Star Citizen came out? It was like, it's been about 20 years, right? Something in that range. But they end up talking about how a lot of the stuff in this update right now is going to also be in Light No Fire. Like how, like when you're in a ship with your friends and you're flying down to a planet as the planet's being generated, and the friends in your ship are like customizing the ship, like the world's being generated as your friends are like changing your ship as they do things inside of your. So there's like a lot that goes on, warping through. Yeah. So you're right here. So much of the technology we're introducing with Voyagers is shared with our next game, Light No Fire, which is a truly open world, a shared Earth-sized planet with oceans to traverse, needing large boats and crews. We love that we get to share this technology with players early so that you can wishlist Light No Fire here. Dude, I'm going to look, as somebody that struggled with gaming addiction before, and that was mainly in the first Destiny, not Destiny 2, but like Destiny was kind of like a new thing all of its own, and it grabbed me. It sucked me into that game. It was so much fun. It was a brand new experience that pretty much had never been done before. This is just like that. This is one of those games that have, like, nobody has ever done something like this. This is such a because I'm free. Because dude, I can't even. There's no way I'm not gonna play this, and I'm paranoid and freaking out because I don't want the same thing that happened with Destiny to happen with this game, and I need you guys that are watching this to like hold me accountable, I guess. Because dude, I'm so excited. I'm so extremely excited for that. Like, I already have it on my wish list. I'm already following it. I'm so insanely excited for this game, man. Like, this is just, as somebody that loves games, to just like chill out, hang out, explore, have fun, and just chill and have fun. And I don't really like the competitive stuff. I don't like hard games anymore. I really just like to have fun, hang out, and just chill, which is why I'm big on emulation and why I'm big on the retro stuff, because you can just hop into a game, play it for whatever 20 or 30 minutes and be done. But this is like one of my other favorite games, Ark Survival on steroids. I genuinely am so excited for this game. So let's get back here. I really am. I wanted to share that with you because of that. And then this right here is just our Light No Fire promises Earth-sized planet with real oceans to explore, which they just go back to the article on the No Man's Sky update. I really am, guys. I really am. And I'm gonna play this, and I'm definitely playing the crap out of this. It's probably gonna be like not the only footage in my videos that you guys see for like months. So this right here, just a really quick update in regards to PlayStation Plus games. And I'm pretty sure that there's also, Stardew Valley. I'll cover this next since that's a part. So the PlayStation 2, Psychonauts 2, awesome game for a super throwback of people that grew up in the PS2 era. Stardew Valley, incredible game that continues to get updates. People still play. It's just a very chill, relaxing, fun game. And then there's Viewfinder. Never heard of that. Don't really care about that game. However, just wanted to let people know about that. And then this right here, Stardew Valley is getting yet another surprise update. So if you do have Stardew Valley and you still play this game, then go and check that one out. And then we'll cover this one as well. So Xbox Game Pass, all the games coming in September 2025. There's a ton of like huge games that are coming to Xbox Game Pass this month. So it's such a good value. However, September, these are all the games that are going to be coming. I Am Beast, Nine Souls, which is such a fun game. Cataclysmo, Hollow Knight, Silksong. I'm just, dude, like, NHL, you could see that I don't understand how they get it. Dude, it's crazy how much of a good value Game Pass is. It's just wild to me. So Nine Souls is an incredible Metroidvania. Hollow Knight, like one of the most anticipated games that really, vast like notifications are so irritating. and I lost my. So yeah, Nine Souls, an awesome game for those of you that have not played it. Hollow Knight Silksong, like this is like a game that people have been wanting to come out for such a long period of time. Like this has to be one of the best months for Xbox Game Pass period. It's such an incredible month. So upcoming game releases calendar for September 2025. Again, I just wanted to show you guys this. Star Wars Outlaws, for those of you that ended up getting a Nintendo Switch 2, that's a really fun game that I mean, if you're big on handheld stuff, that'll be cool for people to get that. This is just a Bubsy for somebody that grew up in the Super Nintendo era and still plays tons of Super Nintendo games, which is literally why I have Aladdin going on in the background. This is literally my favorite console, like 30 years later. This is a really cool month for game releases. You know what I mean? And updates inside a game. So I've been thinking about Silksong's Steam launch numbers, and honestly, we might be in for a shock. And this is one of those things, dude, that because Hollow Knight was such a good game,